with Mark Thompson, level design director for Far Cry 3.
Yes. All correct.
So I kind of the first thing I want to ask you, and I did ask this yesterday with Assassin's Creed, is how have you gone about making the jungle? Because obviously it's a very open area with a lot of quests going on. So how have you managed to balance that?
Well, in terms of the actually making the jungle, it's a very detailed process. There's a lot of reference. We actually have a really cool biodome here in Montreal.
Okay.
Like a bunch of artists went over there to actually get real close up and feel the texture of the different flowers and plants and stuff. So from a level design point of view, one of the big goals was credibility. Like that was a key word for us. It was making the environment seem very, very realistic and very believable. From the way that the mountains are formed, it's all based on we do a lot of research into geology and how mountain ranges actually come about, and even down to how rivers are formed. Like one of the level designers on the team, actually, in his former life, he was a geography teacher in high school, actually, here in Quebec, and he came and told us, like, we made some areas, prototypes with rivers, and he came and told us, oh no, that's not how rivers work. It's like
Okay.
you need the bank on this side, and you need the wash on the other side where the sediment goes, and like he gave us like detailed information, and then so we passed that to the team. And on some level, playing a game, you always need your own sense of disbelief to be suspended, right? So as a maker of a video game, my job, like, I'm in the business of suspending people's disbelief. So and we know that in the story and in the action that you do, you'll be doing these kind of it's everything you do is believable, but it's not the things that you do in everyday life, right? So if the environment that you're in isn't grounded, isn't realistic, isn't something that you believe in, then the events that take place, you'll start to question them, and that's when the illusion falls down. So it means that when you're in the jungle and when you look around, and even on a subconscious level, you know that the environment's realistic. You know that plants grow in a certain kind of way, and footpaths formed because people walk it, and the terrain is all natural. Subconsciously, you don't question that environment. You don't question the simulation. So the things that happen can happen, and the disbelief isn't challenged. So for us, it's in terms of level design and art, like making this jungle. We didn't want to go crazy and just do 300-foot tall trees and make these wacky mountain ranges that could never exist, because ultimately we wanted to make an environment that people could get lost in. It's the fantasy of the jungle, and getting drawn in by how beautiful it is. We wanted people to have that experience, and then when they get in there and they get confronted with a tiger and a pirate throwing a Molotov cocktail and everything burns down, and that's when the fun really begins.
I must say as well, the animals. There was some Komodo dragons that had a little encounter with a pirate just sort of appeared out of nowhere as well. But the animals do seem to be brilliant. I said this yesterday as well with Assassin's Creed, and they do look like real animals, and they do behave like real animals. And you can go out shooting goats with an arrow, and they will sort of run, and they won't. And I really love all of that. It looks really, really good from that point of view. So really well done to you guys. In terms of the animation for the characters, how much in depth was done with that?
For characters, for the main character performances, we do full body capture, we do facial capture, and we do voice capture all at the same time. So it's not like we don't animate these dolls and then a voice actor talks over the top of it in a recording studio watching the footage. It's all captured at the time, so you get like the emotion that the actor's feeling when he does that physical performance. You get his voice at the same time, so there isn't this disconnect. It's not like Tom Hanks voicing Woody in Toy Story or something. It's really we didn't want that feeling. We wanted the actual performance to come through in the characters, which is why characters like Vass really
he's good.
He really kind of he kind of leaps out of the screen, and he's kind of very disturbing, but at the same time he's he's strangely charismatic. So he draws you in, and he has these moments where he's kind of a little subdued and subtle and almost poignant, and then the dangerous spark lights up in him, and he freaks out, and he goes a bit crazy, and that's when like you suddenly you get that chill, because you get lulled into that sense of this guy's almost poetic, and then he sets fire to the room that you're in, and it all gets a bit crazy.
It's good. I think he's going to be an amazing villain. I mean, I saw the sort of starting sequence with him, and that was brilliant.
The whole process of creating that character and then the other characters in the game was kind of, it's not a process that I've ever seen used before. We did a traditional process, like we designed this character, we wrote a biography for them, then we went to a casting session, and then Michael came in, and he did a performance for that character, and he was, physically he was very different from the character we wanted, and the performance was actually very different. But there was something so powerful about that performance that the team actually designed the character around his performance. So his interpretation of the character for the audition, actually the team took that and made an entirely new character based around him, and then we used that process from then on. We called it actor-centric casting. So we basically, instead of designing a character and thinking yes this is absolutely it, and then taking it and finding the right person to fit in that box, we're very, very loose with the characters, and then when we find an actor who brings that idea to life, then we kind of formalize things a little bit more.
Yeah, it seems to have worked for this, for even in the short bit I've seen, like Dennis as well. They all seem great. They all seem great characters, and I mean Dennis is. I mean, they're all a little bit on the edge, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, they're all a little bit unhinged, I guess you would say. Like we wanted to have this feeling of uneasiness. I mean, everyone you meet, just personally, if I met anyone on this island, I would question why they were there and what they were doing there, and why they didn't just leave on the first boat that they could possibly leave on. So you always have to wonder when you meet people in the game. Are they a friend? Can I really trust them? Even the people who seem like they can be trusted, sometimes they might not be entirely trustworthy.
There's no release date yet, or is it actually cement now, the date?
No. We're absolutely cement. For Europe, it's going to be November 30th.
Okay. And US?
US December 4th.
December 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, so Europe get it first?
Yes, indeed. It's very, very good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a great day. Loved the game, and looking forward to it in November.
Awesome.
Listen, what is it? Why aren't you laughing now like you did up there? What, is this not fun anymore? Have I failed to entertain you? You see, the thing is, up there, you thought you had a chance. Way up in the fucking skies, you thought you had your finger on the pussy trigger. But hermano, down here,